Hello there, Odimus Prime here. This may not seem immediately obvious, but this is the third video in a row that I have recorded this afternoon. Just trying to get through my massive backlog of toys, mostly because I want to open them and stick them on my shelf, and having them in a big pile of boxes is not helping me at all. So today, taking a slight detour from what I've been doing videos of recently, and move on to something a bit of Star Wars for a change. So today I'm going to have a quick look at these two figures, which are the vintage retro series Mandalorian and Grogu, or Baby Yoda if you prefer. So yes, gonna have a quick look at these guys. So I shall return in a moment after we activate booth mode. Booth mode, no no no, booth mode, no no no, booth mode, no 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 no. Right, so these are two of the Mandalorian series of retro style figures that Hasbro, pretending to be Kenner, have brought out recently. This is technically the third, I think, series of these figures that have come out. They did some New Hope ones, and they've done some Empire Strikes Back ones, and now they're doing some Mandalorian ones. They are remakes of original figures for the most part. They've also dotted in a couple of figures that weren't previously available, such as Grand Moff Tarkin was done in the first range, who was never a figure available in the Kenner run from 77 or 78 or 79, whenever they came out. In the late 70s to the early 80s, when those figures were around originally, they never actually did Grand Moff Tarkin. Anyway, I am wittering. So these figures have been, or their boxes have been styled as if they are old action figures with the buffed up and messed up boxes, cards. Lovely, apart from the big fat retro sticker. Why do you need this? Is it just so people don't accidentally think they're original figures? I can only imagine that's the reasoning behind it. And on the back, there's not a lot. It's a shame that you don't have a picture with a yellow background of all the figures that are available. That would be really nice. Just tells you what it is. But because obviously this is an international figure, like most of the figures that come out over here, you have a teeny tiny blurb, and then it's repeated in 412 languages. Yeah, Hasbro and Disney logos because they own the world. And yeah, so this one is the Mandalorian in his armor that he wore in the first couple of episodes before he got all Beskar up. It's pretty sweet. And here is, stay there, stay. And here is Grogu. His little teeny tiny Baby Yoda-y self with a little frog for him to eat, and his pram, and some stuff that makes up the stand. It's quite a chunky bubble, which is quite cool. And unlike pretty much any of the original figures, he has a two-part bubble, which I don't think any of them had. Of course, being a slightly more modern figure, the bubble has a tray on the inside, which the original Star Wars figures did not have. They were just sort of loose, knocking around in that bubble. Cool. So, if you have seen by any chance my Transformers reaction figures video, you'll know that despite the fact that these figures look absolutely stunning on their cards and look amazing if you have the space to display them as such, I don't. So I'm just gonna rip this bad boy open, and this time I'm not even bothered about keeping the card. I'm just, look at it, it's completely wrecked. Rubbish. Cool, so that's gonna go over there. Just leave him there for now, and just do the same to Grogu. Oh, he came off much easier. Didn't quite wreck his card as much as the other one. Almost disappointed. Okay, so let's get these cards out the way. These bits of rubbish. Cool. So let's start with old Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. No, Din Djarin, Din Djarin. The Mandalorian. I should know. So here is his disintegrator rifle with its prongy prongs, which, as you all know, is a homage to the weapon that Boba Fett carried in the cartoon episode that was part of the Star Wars Holiday Special, which, if you've never seen it, don't. Yeah, so that's why his weapon is sort of a prongy thing. And of course it has that wonderful disintegrating ability, which is so cool, and his little pistol, which I think the disintegrating of people is slightly a homage to old Vader telling Boba Fett no disintegrations, although never seen Boba Fett with one of those guns. Anyway, let's get him out of this plastic thingy. Legs first seems to be the way. Ugh. Okay, let's have a quick look at him. So this is great because it's literally like how they used to be back in the old days. And again, if you've seen my my video on the reaction figures, I just love this style of figure. It's so just fun, so nostalgia heavy, and I just love how they look. They're, by today's standards, awful. The sculpting is, I mean, it's these are probably better than the actual original figures in some respects. It's got a fair amount of detail, and you can obviously tell who it is. And yeah, so posability wise, the head will swivel a little bit. The legs will Ministry of Silly Walks, and that's about it. And the arms will do that also. And that is your lot, and that is what we used to have to deal with when we were young. Posing was not a thing, at least not until the 3¾ inch G.I. Joes came along and blew us all away with waist swivels and knee and elbow joints, and a bit of a shellbow action going on with those guys as well. But I'll get onto those sorts of figures later. So there we go. Now, my absolute favourite thing about this guy is, despite the fact that he only has a bit of a cloak going on in the film, in the series, they've given him a full-on vinyl, old-school Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader cape, and it's awful, but also absolutely amazing. I do love these so much. It's just fun. I think Alpha Trion had one in the Transformers series, and there's another figure that I'm going to review at some point that has a similar thing. So let's give him his little pistol in his hand. Yeah, there we go. And put his rifle in his other hand, and then he can be posed with both of his guns. That is as good as it gets. But of course now, oh, he does. Amazing. He actually, oops, blurry. Come on, there we go. Zoom. Yeah, that's that. So I'm just going to pop this down here. One step there. There we go. Leave him there. Let's move on to the Grogu. So here's what I assume is the base for his pram. Here is the pram. Here is the strut for the pram. Baby Yoda, one-eyed frog lunch, and the little dude himself. So, let's have a look at him. Now, there's not really a lot you can do with a Baby Yoda action figure. He has this big old coat, so he actually does have his feet moulded onto the bottom, which is actually pretty cool. But posability wise, without having legs within there, I think the Black Series one has feet, but the head moves, the arms move, and that's really all you need. Actually, the sculpting on that face is cute AF. Little ears. Who doesn't love Grogu? I mean, he's purely a invention for, well, Disney to grab money. Actually, I think Favreau had other ideas entirely, but yeah, everybody loves Baby Yoda, or Grogu as we now know. So let's just pop him there. Let's have a look at his accessories. This is actually quite sturdy and substantial. This actually seems bigger than the one that comes with the Black Series figures, which is 16 scale, so that's a bit weird. And I guess this opens. Oh, there's actually a fair amount of detail inside. There's some padding for him to not be uncomfortable. Obviously you can't stash this anywhere, so that would have to be stored elsewhere. Froggy Frog. I mean, there's a fly in here. That's a noisy fly. Yeah, so plop that onto there, like so, and then plop that onto there. Whew, that was complicated. And then boop. And pop your Grogus in the pram, which is cool. And then maybe have a frog snack for later. Tasty frog snack. And if there's danger, we could just pop his little cover on. He can hide away. No more danger for Grogu. I really love the design of the pram thing. It's just kind of cool. Oh, there he is. Beebo! Yeah, sorry. Let's just pop him down there. And just do a little bit of a zoomy zoom. Oops. There we go. So, yeah, that's pretty much those two. There's not a huge amount to say about them other than that. I really love this style of figure. I haven't bothered picking up any of the other ones. I've only got these two because we have a Mandalorian and Grogu shelf in the lounge. That is where these guys are going to go and live at some point in the near future. And yeah, that is that. Thank you for watching. I'll have some more Star Wars videos in the nearest future. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. Goodbye to you.
Fingers on plastic.